Jamey from Stonemaier Games, and I am here today on a tumultuous day, a day that is, hopefully going to go well with Wingspan Asia and the nesting box pre-orders going live, although we definitely have had quite a few issues already today. So I hope you bear with us for those issues if you're trying to join us to get either Wingspan Asia, which is on our web stores now, and Wingspan Nesting Box, which is the source of many issues on the web store now. Now, if you go to our web store and you click through and you order these products successfully and everything looks good to you, that's great. That it might be working for a lot of people right now. But this morning we have seen a host of issues, including in Europe. It appears to be a consistent problem that when someone adds the nesting box to their order, it gives them an error regarding the shipping weight, and won't let them proceed with the order. We haven't found a fix for that yet. The one thing that we maybe have found is that it seems to be working in British pounds. And so if you're able to change the currency in the European store to British pounds, maybe that'll work. Maybe. You can also try using different payment options. I think they offer Shop Pay and PayPal and credit card. Try different options to see if that is if that helps. Elsewhere, I've also heard issues from the US, which are some odd issues because it largely seems to be working in the US. But if you have some issues there, post them in the comments on the nesting box page and be as specific as possible. Specificity can really help here because we know it's working for some people, but not for others, and we can't quite figure out why. What are the other issues that we're experiencing? I think those were the main ones. Feel free to let me know in the comments if I'm missing something. Here, Kevin says he's not getting the champion price. Kevin, there can be a few reasons for that. Maybe you're not logged in as a champion. Maybe you're not using the same email that you usually use as a champion. Also, sometimes the champion discount doesn't show up until it gets to your cart. In the end, though, if you have done all those things, or even if you're not sure if you've done some of those things, just proceed with the order and then send the order number to contact@stonemeiergames.com, and we can apply the discount retroactively, and maybe we can then identify the issue so you know how to do it in the future. But yeah, I would, because there is the possibility of the nesting box selling out today, I would not delay an order to get that discount. We will apply that discount retroactively if you let us know the order number. Shadi says, is there a maximum per order? Yes, there's a maximum of one nesting box per order. And the reason for that is that this nesting box is completely pre-packaged. So it's pre-packaged to protect the game and to protect the box. And so nothing else can be added to the order. So if you are ordering the nesting box and you want other stuff, please place two separate orders. Please place an order for just the nesting box and an order for everything else that you want, including you could place two orders for two separate nesting boxes, but they have to be separate. One nesting box per order, nothing else. The other problem that I have heard show up in some places is that in Europe, some people are getting a really, really high shipping cost. I think I've heard 48 euros being floated around. That is not the correct shipping cost. That is an error. And so if you're seeing that, again, please report it on the nesting box page of our website. The shipping costs in Europe, I think, should be around, I don't want to say, I'll look it up while I'm talking here, what the price should be for Europe for the cost of exactly one nesting box. Should be, let's see. And it might vary by region as well. So the price that I give here might vary a little bit. Let's see if I can find it. Shipping, this is for Europe, what it should cost. So it weighs 4.4 kilograms, the nesting box. So it should cost, I'm getting this in British pounds, should cost around 21 British pounds. It should be the correct shipping cost. Okay, Carol confirms that changing to British pounds as the currency, which I know is an inconvenience, I'm sorry to ask you to do that, but that does seem to be working. So, and Jesse says, Jesse, you're probably on the wrong web store. So Jesse mentioned here that they're seeing the price in pounds and routing to the Europe store. Is that normal? Jesse, that could be an issue with your DNS. So just manually go to the US store. Make sure you're on the US store and order there. The only currency available on the US store is dollars. So if you're not seeing that, you're probably on the wrong web store. Let's see. Sean says, I thought that the nesting box order could include the Asia expansions, that's still the case. So the nesting box has Wingspan Asia prepackaged inside of the box. It's a separate. It's not a separate product for that. So Sean, don't place an order for the nesting box and Wingspan Asia. If you buy the nesting box, it has Wingspan Asia inside the box already. Also, sorry if I'm missing questions here. I'm talking all over the place and scrolling down and scrolling around. So if I missed your question, just repeat it and I will help you out. Let's see. So some people, Murray has a question that some people have asked, why aren't the prices the same in every region? And they actually are the same. In fact, we used the US price as the anchor price. And because the US dollar is really strong right now, we actually offered a little bit of a discount in some of the other regions. So the price is the same or better compared to the US price in every other region. What you're seeing in Europe, though, is VAT. The tax has to be added legally to the listed price of the product. And so the price is actually the same as in the US, but tax is added within that cost, within the listed price. Whereas in the US, tax, if there's any tax, is added at checkout. So that's what you're seeing. The prices definitely are correct on the European store and other stores as well. Let's see. Miguel is getting the most common issue, which is he is trying to add the nesting box to his web store. So the fix that we're finding right now, if you're in Europe and you can't add the nesting box to your web store, you're getting a shipping error when you do that. Change the currency to British pounds. That seems to be working for the most part. Sasha says, let's see. Okay, so Sasha's asking, why can't I buy? Essentially, Sasha's asking in a not so nice way, but let's try to be nice today. We're all working together on this. Is that they're disappointed that Wingspan Asia is included in the nesting box, which is something that we publicly talked about for quite some time. That should not be a surprise today. We are making the nesting box as well. The reprint of it, the next printing of it, will not have Wingspan Asia inside the box. That's also on our web store. So if you want to just wait for the nesting box without anything else inside of it, without Wingspan Asia inside of it, you can just wait. We're not forcing you to buy it today. Jesse, you're having a weird issue. I can't quite explain why you're having the issue. Well, okay, Jesse, so when you go to the actual web store, look at the upper right of the web store, and you should be able to manually change the location. You should see a little flag up there regarding the region. Change that to a different region, and you'll be routed to a different web store. It sounds like your DNS server is messing with it a little bit when you're going through our website. Miguel says, how do I change to pounds? I don't know that offhand. Let's see if I can look that up while I'm standing here. Diego says, is this run of the nesting box numbered? Yes, they are individually numbered here. I have number 0 right here on my copy because I have the test copy. But yes, they are individually numbered. We have 10,000 of them. Hugo says, what about the conversion cost from euros to pounds? I mean, the price is the equivalent of all current exchange rates right now. So that there is... I don't know if there's a conversion cost that your bank is charging you, but that's not something that we are charging you. Okay, let's see if I can figure out how you can change the currency. Oh, it's at the upper right of the web store as well. So upper right of the web store, you can see the where you can change the web store itself. That's upper right of the web store, not our website, our web store. And then also in that area, that bar at the top of the web store, you can also change the currency from euros to British pounds. And that seems to be helping if you're trying to order the nesting box in Europe. John says he paid $24.80 for shipping. You said a while ago that should be $21. Carol says $16. So Carol's a champion. So the champion price is going to be better. John, I don't know why you would have paid $24.80. If you think you paid the wrong price, which is possible, feel free to report your order number to contact@stillmeyergames.com. Please be patient for the reply, but we will look into that. And if it is something that we need to refund, we will do that. All right. All right, lots of. I feel like today is just customer service live, which is fine, which is totally fine. I want you all to have the best possible experience today, and I know we are not providing that. I'm so sorry that that is not working as smoothly as we'd hoped. Um, it is. I don't know. We're a little baffled right now as to why it's not working as well as we hoped because we tested this in Australia. This is actually the odd thing. We launched in Australia a little bit earlier. We launched in Australia, I don't know, about 6 hours ago because we didn't want Australians to have to and New Zealanders to have to wake up in the middle of the night for the pre-order. And so we tested all these things on that web store and they seem to go fine. And those same settings were across all four of our web stores. So it's very odd that it's not working consistently. We don't know why. Shadi says, if I cannot get a nesting box, do you think all or most content of Wingspan can fit into the base game and one of the expansion boxes? No, I don't think that. No, that's the whole reason why we made the nesting box. There's too much Wingspan stuff now to fit into the Wingspan boxes, even if you use multiple boxes. Jason says, Jason says, I think a few of us in Canada got hit with $40 shipping for the nesting box, but now it shows 14. This is the champion price. Jason, let's look up to see what the correct price should be in Canada. I do know that we had two different prices today. So there was the standard price if you put only the nesting box in your cart. And then we had a higher price, a much higher price to account for the cost of anyone who's adding other things to their order because they have to be two separate orders. It ends up being a split order. So if you only have the nesting box in your cart, in Canada, let's see what the price should be. In Canada, with only the nesting box in your cart, oh no, I have to do the conversion. We have pounds in the Canadian store for some reason. Let's see, 4 kilograms to pounds. 4.4 kilograms is 9.7 pounds. So 9.7, that should be, it should be $18 Canadian if you've only added the nesting box to your cart. If you had other things in your cart, it should be higher. And so if you did overpay for that shipping cost, please let us know your order number at contact@stonemeyergames.com and we can refund you the difference. But this is only if you only have one nesting box in your cart. If you have anything else, even a signed card, that creates a separate order and we need to charge a separate price. That's why we're asking you to create separate orders. If you want the nesting box and other stuff, order this first, just this, and then create a separate order for those other things that you want. I'm hearing from some people that they're not having issues. I love hearing that. Thank you so much for sharing some good news today on a crazy, hectic, stressful day. A day where we're trying to do the best that we can for you, but it's not our Shopify stores aren't necessarily cooperating. We even had an issue yesterday. I don't know if you were trying to become a champion yesterday early evening, but all of a sudden the app that we use for champion orders is an app called Recharge. Just stopped working. So people weren't able to become champions the day before we really needed people to become champions. So crazy coincidences there. Michael says, are the 4 web stores all different Shopify sites with different settings? Is that causing the issue? We do have 4 different web stores, but they all have the same settings. Different price, well, not different prices, different currencies. But they are all using the same exact code. And that's why it's kind of been baffling why the Australian store worked and the others haven't. Yeah. Garrett asked a fun question. How is Biddy doing? Biddy's not in here right now. He's taking a nap, but he's doing much better. Biddy had 15. Biddy is one of my cats. And Biddy had 15 teeth removed 2 weeks ago. And he's doing much better now. He seems to be doing really well. So thanks for asking about that. More people are confirming that if you're having problems in Europe, use pounds instead of euros, and it should work. Okay, Jason confirms that all that stuff I just talked about with Canada was just an order for the nesting box, and he still had a too high shipping price. And so we are going to let us know that order number at contact@stonemeyergames.com so we can fix that, Jason. Chris has a question about how to get a board to lay flat if it's warping a little bit. Chris, it depends on climate, depends on other factors. Some people sometimes put boards in their ovens for a little bit and then they press it flat and it lays flat after that. And you're kind of asking, do I need to request a replacement? Replacement parts are for something like this are somewhat subjective. If a board is causing you is not giving you the experience that you want with the game, of course, ask for a replacement. But warping doesn't necessarily mean that you need a replacement. It's up to you to decide if that is impacting your experience of the game or not. Zach says, do you think it would have been helpful to open the order to have champions from all regions start ordering in advance as a test? We actually did that too, Zach. Yeah. So the pre-order announcement officially went live, or I think we sent it out at like 10 a.m. Central Time. But we actually made them go live at around 8:45 a.m. And that's when we started seeing those issues. That's why we often open the pre-order a little bit earlier than normal, but we don't want people to actually start pre-ordering en masse at that point. Because we're just testing at that point. Mark says, is the box numbered? And yeah, it is numbered. Here's individual numbered right down there, Mark. Ian says Halloween. So I do have some Halloween stuff to discuss. Let me come back to Halloween in a minute, Ian. Yeah, that's one of the few topics that I have to cover today. Sean also asked, what's chocolate of the day? Chocolate of the day is from C's Candies. Have some C's Candies chocolates today. Jeremy says... Okay, so Jeremy, you placed an order for the Nesting Box and 2 Rolling Realms promos. They will still be shipped separately, Jeremy, I have to say. Because the Nesting Box is prepackaged, anything you add to an order with the Nesting Box will be shipped separately. And so that's why we're asking, please place separate orders. It'll be more accurate and less confusing for our fulfillment centers if you place an order just for the Nesting Box and then a separate order for anything else that you want. That doesn't go for Wingspan Asia. Wingspan Asia is much smaller. And so if you're just ordering Wingspan Asia, add whatever you want to that order other than the Nesting Box, and we can ship it too. Kevin says, how do I check my champion status? That's a good question, Kevin. If you are seeing a champion discount, then you are probably a champion. If you're not seeing it, then you're probably currently not a champion. There is a way to check this, but I can't remember offhand how to do it. Kevin, you can email Joe at contact@stonemaiergames.com to check. But if you aren't getting the champion discount, you probably aren't currently a champion and need to become it again. Jason says, are we hiring any software developers by chance? Currently, no. Let's see. So Kevin says he isn't getting the champion prize. Kevin, it's probably just because you're not the champion. If you definitely are a champion, if you know for sure that you are not getting the champion prize, just proceed with the order and send the order number to contact@stonemaiergames.com. We'll apply the discount retroactively. Mark is asking about the 3rd Tapestry expansion. We'll talk about that in 2023, Mark, not today. Cameron says, am I backing anything fun on Kickstarter? I backed a lot of stuff yesterday on Kickstarter. I backed chicken from your company, Cameron. I backed the roll for, let's see, my mind's all over the place today, so I want to get this name right. Role Player Adventures expansion. I love Role Player Adventures, so I backed that yesterday. Also backed Soul, S-U-L, from Jackie Davis, an artist that we've worked with a lot in the past. And I am curious about Role Player Adventure, about the Slay the Spire Kickstarter campaign, but I think a friend is backing it, so I may not back that one. Halloween. Let's talk Halloween real quick. My heart goes out to those in Korea. There was a terrible, terrible event on Halloween night in Korea, and I kind of watched it, not unfold, but as it was reported, watched it in horror and sympathy and empathy to those in South Korea who are going through that, who have lost people, a lot of young people, in the crowd, that surge that happened in Korea. So that kind of set the tone for a more somber Halloween for me and Megan. But we watched some Halloween movies on Halloween weekend. We watched Hocus Pocus 2. We watched Cabin in the Woods. We watched Werewolves Within. We didn't go to a Halloween party, but we did go to a Halloween gathering or related gathering for my coworker Susanna. Her birthday was this past weekend, and we celebrated at her house. With games. I played Dog Park, and I played Planet Unknown, and I played a game called Taco Cat, which was crazy, and had a good time celebrating Susanna's birthday there. So happy birthday to Susanna. And we also went to a restaurant here called Terror Tacos. It's an all vegan taco place where all the tacos are a little scary. They have scary names. They're all a little spicy. It was really delicious. If you like vegan food, Terror Tacos was really, really delicious. So those were my Halloween, what I did for Halloween. Not a crazy Halloween by any means. Let's see. Murray had a question about, will the nesting box be available from retailers? And no, it will not. No, the markup would be way too high if we sold the nesting box to retailers. And so for us, in order for us to offer a reasonable price for the box, we can only sell it directly. Carol says, what fun things do I have planned for the week and the weekend? What do I hope to play at game night? Game night tonight is virtual, so I'll be playing some games on Board Game Arena tonight. I don't have anything specific picked out. And at gaming this weekend, I'm playing the next few games of Betrayal Legacy with some friends this weekend. Also, hopefully getting some disc golf in. I got some great disc golf in this past weekend with a group of 10 people. We had 10 gamers who also play disc golf, who played a wonderful round at Lakeside, Creekport Lakeside this past weekend. Jordan says, when he entered the site... Okay, Jordan had a similar issue. I think sometimes there might be DNS issues. If you're in the US, for example, and our site takes you to the European store for whatever reason, and it's possible that I entered something wrong when I set the numbers this morning. But if it does take you to the wrong web store, just look at the top right of the web store and choose the correct region so you can order from the correct region. I'm going to load up the Wingspan nesting box page right now to see where it takes me. I'll answer some questions while it's doing that. Zach said, what do you say with the current number of pre-orders? Are you on the pace you expected? I don't even know at this point, Zach. I think the website errors this morning have thrown off a lot of people. Okay, I just tested it. It is working for me where I click on the link on our website. So I think the link is working. It's just if you are taken to the wrong region, just go to the upper right of the web store and change the region to your correct region. So Zach, yeah, I don't know. I think things that confuse customers, like what's happened this morning, can really deter customers. Customers can leave, and understandably so. Like we should have this working smoothly. We've done this so many times now. I don't understand why it didn't work today for everyone smoothly and perfectly. So it's really frustrating that we can't serve you as best as we can, as best as we should, as best as you deserve. So I think we surely are losing some orders as a result. Carol says, how was Taco Cat Goat Cheese Pizza? I played with this game with 5 little girls, and they were really, really good at the game. And so I got my butt kicked by these little girls who were very good at slapping. It's a slapping game. You're slapping the card to claim it before other players. I was not very good at it. Robert says, do we have any new Rolling Realms promos on the docket? We do. I don't know exactly when we're going to sell them, but it will be in another set of 3 like we did before. I would say probably either in December or January we'll do another batch of 3 promos. So we do have a bunch showing up in our fulfillment centers right now that are ready to sell, basically. Mark says, Castles of Mek and Ludwig is getting a new expansion. I'm backing it as well. I love Castles of Mek and Ludwig, but I just got the collector's edition. I've only played it once so far, and I know I'm going to keep playing it, but there's so much replayability in the game that I'm not currently compelled to get to the expansion. I don't feel a need for it because of how much is in that box. So currently I'm not backing it. Susan has some very nice comments. Thank you, Susan, for saying that on a rough day for customer service, where we are truly trying to serve you as best as possible, and failing in many ways due to our web store. I appreciate that comment a lot. Thank you. And thanks for discovering Wingspan through the New York Times article. Caleb says that he and his wife went as a birder and as Wingspan for Halloween gathering. That's awesome. Caleb, I may have seen that on Instagram. I appreciate you sharing that. I love Wingspan themed or any Stonemaier themed costumes. Tim says, did you back the Queen's Dilemma? I did back the Queen's Dilemma on the day it went live last week. I absolutely love the King's Dilemma. One of the best legacy games I've ever played. Queen's Dilemma was actually, no, I'm sorry. I did not back it. A friend of mine is backing it that I'm going to play with, but I'm supporting the endeavor. But I'm glad to hear you're enjoying Dog Park too, Tim. That's a great game. Nancy Jane also enjoying Dog Park. She says, have I tried Poetry for Neanderthals? I have not I've not tried that one. Jennifer says, how long does it take to fulfill the order for Stonemaier Champion membership? I signed up this morning, but it's showing as unfulfilled. I don't want the nesting box to sell it before I can order. Jennifer, if you, I think it's just showing that because it's not an, when you become a Stonemaier Champion, there's nothing that we're actually shipping to you. It's automatic. So you are a champion right now for sure. You can go ahead and place your pre-order right now and you should get the discount. And if you don't get the discount, still just proceed with the pre-order and let us know your order number at contact@stonemeiergames.com later and we will apply the discount retroactively. Nick says he got his pendulum disc. Yeah, disc golf discs. If you are ordering just Wingspan Asia by itself, feel free to add a disc golf disc to your order. We have special Stonemaier Games disc golf discs you can try out. It playing in the fall in St. Louis is beautiful. Hopefully it's also beautiful where you are right now for playing some disc golf. George says, how many pieces of the Wingspan nesting box should be on the European shop? More or less, when I've ordered it, there were 200 orders already. There are a few hundred there. I don't know the exact number offhand. A little less than 1,000 maybe. Darren asked for hints as to what the new Rolling Realms will be. And Darren, honestly, I haven't chosen the realms yet. We are kind of accumulating a bunch of Rolling Realms promos in our web store fulfillment centers. And we'll pick and choose. I'll pick and choose the ones that kind of make sense at the time based on maybe what other, like if for example, what's a game? We've already done Terra Mystica, but say like a Terra Mystica expansion was coming out, then that might be the time that we put that promo on our web store, that type of thing. So I'll look into it in a few weeks for possibly December, maybe January. Tony says that he finished his spooky Halloween games with the game Obsession, which was actually, that's one of Susanna's favorite games. And so that was also played at Susanna's game day on October 30th. Okay. Brian says, for Rolling Realms, do you ever pay or develop fan-made cards from fan posts on Board Game Geek? We do. Yeah, we pay attention to all the fan realms. And if we see one that we think is particularly clever or elegant, we reach out to that fan creator. We offer them a fee for making that realm. And we also have to work with the publisher and get their permission and pay them a fee to make that realm for that game. But yeah, we've done that for, I would say, around 10 fan-made realms at this point. Carol recommends looking at the great tutorial in ISS Vanguard. Thank you, Carol, for that recommendation. I'm always looking for great tutorial recommendations so I can get better at writing tutorials and rulebooks myself. So yeah, I need to check that out for sure. Let's see. Daria says, have I had a chance to check out Zoo Tycoon yet? No, I haven't had a chance to check that out yet, Daria. Thank you for reminding me to do that, though. Kennard says, I know the estimated shipping duration for the, may I know the estimated shipping duration for the nesting box to Singapore? I will be overseas in a few weeks and would like to make the necessary arrangements to collect the shipment. That's a great question. So shipping times, how long will it take to ship all this stuff? So today we are expecting to receive thousands of orders from people, and each fulfillment center can only physically ship so many copies of these products every day. Champion products will be shipped first and then non-champion orders. I am expecting all champion orders to take around 2 weeks to ship, at least 2 weeks to ship. And that's just when they leave our fulfillment center, not necessarily when they arrive. So shipping from the US to Singapore, probably going to take an additional 1 to 2 weeks after that. And then I really think shipping will probably continue for most fulfillment centers throughout most of November. So while we do have these products in stock at our fulfillment centers, shipping is going to take a few weeks. And I appreciate your patience for that. You will get a tracking number when your order ships, though. So you will have that information in advance to plan for delivery in case you won't actually be at the delivery location at the time that this is delivered. Yeah, you'll have that tracking information. Jim says, how many are available at the warehouse for this first round of pre-orders? I can't order today, hoping some might be available still tomorrow. So Jim, basically what we do is we have already made these products. We've already made Wingspan Asia, for example, and the nesting box here. We've delivered them to our fulfillment centers, and that is the quantity that we are offering for pre-order. And those pre-orders will essentially just become orders. So if we sell, if hypothetically, say we have 5,000 nesting boxes in the US web store right now. All of them are there on the web store. And if we sell all 5,000 today, we'll work on shipping them. They'll go out, and then we'll make more because that indicates that we need to make more. If we don't sell all 5,000 today, they'll just stay on the web store like any other product, and we'll continue selling them until they sell out, and then we'll make more. Hopefully that makes sense. It's a little bit different than other pre-orders where you're like if you're going to a convention and they only offer a limited number of products every day. We're putting the full supply on the web store today, so everyone who wants it can get it. And again, if we sell out, we'll make more. It'll take a few months for us to get more in stock. Mandy says it's now working fine. Darius says, is there any chance that you'll participate in Essen Spiel next year? Probably not me, but my coworker Alex may be there. He went there last year, and we did have a little portion of the Matago booth. We just probably won't have a big presence. Marketing at conventions isn't a big part of what we do, except at Gen Con, where MeepleSource handles it and does a wonderful job for Stonemaier Games at Gen Con. So if you're just joining us now, let me know if you're still having any issues with ordering the nesting box, especially in Europe, where we found that the solution seems to be that you can change the currency to pounds, and that really helps. Or any other issues with higher than expected shipping costs, because we have been subsidizing shipping costs so they aren't too high. So if you've seen like an abnormally high shipping cost, especially if you only had the nesting box in your order, that is probably not correct, and let us know. You can let us know. Probably the best way to let me know. You can let me know live, but you can also let us know your order number and the specific issue. Any details you can provide at contact@stonemeiergames.com. That email is going to go to my coworker Joe, who is working really hard today. He has a lot of questions to answer. He will get to it, but it may take a little bit of time, and I really, really appreciate your patience with that. I appreciate your patience and your kindness. Most of the messages today I've seen today have been either just confused or kind. I've seen some that are really rude, but I would say that's fairly uncommon for Stonemaier Games customers. So I appreciate everyone who has found kindness in asking these questions, even in moments of frustration or confusion today. So thank you if you were one of those people. Garrett says, how is your game design development going? Good progress on your open world game? I've been making very good progress on that game. A little slower this week because of all the pre-order stuff, but really good development on that, or design on that, not development yet. And otherwise, I've just been working on developing games from some other designers, games that we're going to publish here at Stonemaier Games, and that's going well too. Kevin reminds me. Okay, Kevin got his champion membership back. Everything's working. Yeah. So if you aren't a champion and you want to become one, you can even add the champion membership to your order, and the discount will apply right away. That is the one thing that you can add to an order with the nesting box. Let's see. I'm up to date on questions. Let me scroll through the e-newsletter here on my other screen here. So the first section is all about Wingspan Asia, the nesting box, and then I delve into some other updates. Yes, so the Stonemaier Score calculator app has now been updated, especially on the iOS store. I don't know if it has been, if the updates have been accepted by the Google Play Store yet, but check out our free scoring app. It's both a scoring app where you can save your scores and also a scoring calculator right now for Wingspan, and we're going to add other games to that scoring calculator. That's for free, and it is updated on the iOS store, so you can see the updated version there, or just update your app, and that might happen automatically on your iPhone. And the Android update is in progress, just we're waiting for the Google Play Store to approve it. We continue to make new updates to that too. So that app is just going to get better and better, and it will continue to be free. So go ahead and get the app and use it whenever you play a Stonemaier game and record your score there. I also mentioned the charity auction results last month. That one of the big parts of the news, other than our anniversary celebration and our new little game, Smitten, was that the charity auction launched at the beginning of the month. It finished after around 2 days, and we raised $29,289, over $29,000 to go to 10 different charities selected by 10 amazing content creators. It's by far the biggest donation that we've ever made in the history of Stonemaier Games for the charity auction. So thank you to everyone who participated in that. And next year, I think what we're going to do is add a little tweak to it, where just so anyone can participate, the golden eggs that we offered to the winners of the auction this year, we are going to send those golden eggs to, or we're going to put them available on our web store for next year's charity auction, with the proceeds going to charity as well, or split across the 10 charity auctions, or charities selected by the content creators. So we're really looking forward to doing that next year. That reminded me of a little thing I need to note there. Let's see. I'll go back over to questions right now. Um, okay, George says, any plans to get more disc golf designs into the EU store? They're all out of stock. George, I will look into that. Yeah, I'd love to. I'd love to get some more stocked up there. Greg says that. Okay, Greg pointed out. So this is the thing that we did really to encourage separate orders. So Greg put the nesting box and something else in his order, and found the shipping price was really high, and then he separated the orders and got a better shipping price for both. And that is intended. That is by design because we want customers to order the nesting box by itself and then place a separate order for anything else that they want. So thank you, Greg, for putting that out and for discovering that. Okay, Genway says, when will pre-orders be sent out? They'll be sent out over November. It's going to take quite a while for our fulfillment centers to get through this influx of pre-orders. And yeah, so it's going to take some time. If you're a champion, I'm hoping that most champion orders will go out in the next 2 weeks, but it might be a little bit longer, especially in the US. I think the US orders will take the longest. But yeah, it'll take a little while, but I would say throughout November, the shipping will happen. Simon says, shipping to Asia. So Simon is saying that it costs $60 to ship the Asia expansion and the nesting box. So Simon, it could be that you're adding something in order that shouldn't be there because the Wingspan Asia is included in the nesting box. You don't need to add that separately. That is going to significantly increase the price. So only put the nesting box in your order and that will be the correct shipping price. Nicole says, does the nesting box and the Asia expansion have the rubber play mats or cardboard? All of our products come with the cardboard versions of the mats, but the nesting box is designed to hold the rubber play mats as well. So if you want play mats, you can add them as a separate order. We do sell the play mats separately on our web store. But again, if you're ordering the nesting box, only put the nesting box in your order. Matthew says, do I have any information about the French version of the nesting box and Wingspan from Madigo? I don't have that, but if that's information that you're curious about, just go directly to Madigo and ask them, and they should be able to provide that information for you. Benjamin says, I made a big order including the nesting box. Is that an issue that I added things to the nesting box order? It is a bit of an issue. If you were successful in placing that order, it will happen, but you will receive the nesting box separately from those other things that you added. We prefer if you place the nesting box separately. So order one nesting box and then place a separate order for the other things that you want. If it's too late, if you've already completed that order, there's nothing else to do. You've completed the order. You're all good. We'll make it work. But we prefer that you don't do that. It'll be, I think, better for the whole process if you don't do that. I know it's a little bit weird for us to ask that. Normally, we like for people to add other things to their order, and especially if you order just Wingspan Asia, please add other things to the order. That's great, but not for the nesting box. It just doesn't work for that because it is prepackaged. Flavio says, will pre-orders be shipped by the time received, or will that not matter? No, that won't matter at all. So what happens when we do a big pre-order like this is that the fulfillment centers receive all these orders, and then they batch them. They find orders, starting with champion orders, they find orders that look very similar because that's more efficient. They can take, say if they have 500 orders of just Wingspan Asia, they might group all those together, regardless of when they were placed or where they're shipping to, because they can just shoot these through the assembly line really, really quickly. Opposed to if they have like one order for Wingspan Asia, and then the next order is for the nesting box, the next order is for Wingspan Asia and a disc golf disc. That really slows it down. So they batch similar orders and ship them out optimally. That's how they optimize the shipments. Has nothing to do with the exact moment when you placed your order. Susanna, birthday coworker Susanna chimed in to say, make sure you take care of yourself today as you continue to take care of some of our customers so well. I'm trying, Susanna. Thank you. I haven't taken a shower yet today because I was dealing with all this stuff, but I will. I'll take a shower after lunch and be more appropriately visible now that when I'm off camera. Jeremy says, so let's see. Jeremy says that he had an interesting shipping issue. So Jeremy, so yeah, it's a weird thing that Jeremy found here. So Jeremy found a specific combination of products where it's a better deal if he ordered them with the nesting box. Jeremy, the problem with that is that we're going to lose money on that order. Because there's an added cost when we split products and the shipping isn't accurate for those split products. So that's why we're asking, please, please, if you want to order the nesting box and other things, even if for some reason you are getting a better deal by adding stuff to the same order, please don't do that because I guarantee you we are losing money on that order if you do that. So please, if you want the nesting box, order the nesting box by itself in its own order. And then if you want other things, create a separate order for those things. I know it's an inconvenience. It's something that we wouldn't normally ask, but it really does matter for this ship out. And we really appreciate it if you can do that and split them into separate orders. Again, if you've already placed the order successfully, there's no need to change it. It will be more of an inconvenience at that point if we have to change it. But I really appreciate anyone who is ordering the nesting box by itself and it's in an order by itself and then putting other things in the separate order. All right, what else is going on today in the newsletter? I talked about a little bit about the Design Day, Tomorrow Games Design Day. We had a wonderful Design Day event in mid-October at Pieces Board Game Bar and Cafe in St. Louis, which if you ever come to St. Louis, that is like the place to go. Go to Pieces, spend a few hours playing games there and order their delicious food and drinks. Awesome place. They were incredible hosts for our 9th annual Design Day. And also recently, you may have seen that Monster Couch shared that they are working on Wingspan Oceania Digital. They don't have a release date, I don't think yet, but it'll be sometime in early 2023, I believe. But they just announced a way for you to sign up to get a notification when it goes live. Then in the newsletter, I had the standard progress chart, and yeah, that was the main stuff for the newsletter. Oh shoot! I just realized I did not update. A few months ago I added a section called the best-selling web store products of the month, and I totally forgot to update that. So the products I listed in the newsletter were for September. I didn't list the best-selling products for October. I'll have to fix that. I missed that one. Sorry about that. If you were curious about what the best-selling products were for in October, but I totally missed that. Okay, while we're still here, while we're live, let me look over at my email to see if there are any common questions that I can answer live right now. So it does appear that you can order the nesting box in euros now. I'm getting a good news about that. Still seeing someone has an issue with the shipping rate in Europe, so still getting some issues there. Let's see if there are any other common questions here. Over here. Still seeing some issues in various places. Germany seems to be an issue. Yeah. So if you are having a problem ordering the nesting box, especially it appears in Europe, that seems to be the main place. Keep checking back. Like we're going to keep trying to sell it to you. Try using a different currency. So if euros aren't working, try British pounds. See if that'll work. Try a different payment method. You can refresh your cache. Sometimes that can help. Like clear out your cart, refresh your browser, and try that. Again, I'm sorry that I'm asking you to do those things instead of us just making it work on our end. But we are not exactly sure what the issue is, and so that's why we're kind of throwing that out there. And also, if you are reporting the issue to us on the nesting box page of our website, include as many details as possible. That'll really help us figure out what the issue is. I'm kind of poking through emails here to see if there's anything. Yeah, I'm seeing Germany seems to be a consistent issue. So that does seem to be a consistent issue. If again you try to use the champion discount and you aren't, or you try to place the order as a champion and you aren't getting the champion discount, let us go ahead and place the order. If you can successfully place an order, do it, and then email your order number and the issue to contact@stonemaiergames.com, and we will apply the discount retroactively. It's easy for us to do that. Yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else that I should mention here while I'm still live. Let me know if there's any other questions. George mentioned, yes, I'm going to play Rolling Realms live over the next 3 days, starting Friday. Yeah, I think Friday will be the first day of that. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I have some games of Rolling Realms. Feel free to check out the Rolling Realms Facebook group to see the times that I've estimated for those and which realms we're going to be using this time. That'll be on YouTube later, same as this video. Let's see if there's anything else I can help you out with here. Okay, I think all the issues that we've experienced, I've talked about many times today already, so you've probably already heard me talk about them. Thank you for joining me for this live cast, and I haven't seen any comments in a little bit. I don't know if they're not coming through, but I'm going to sign off. I'm going to put this video on YouTube. If you have any other questions, post them in the comments on YouTube, and I'll answer them there. Have a great day. I hope, and again, if your pre-order has not worked yet, try it again in a few minutes or a few hours, and it should work then. We are actively working on getting it to work for you. Thanks for participating in this pre-order. We're so excited about Wingspan Asia and the nesting box, and we will get it to you throughout November. We're shipping throughout November. Have a great day, and I'll see you next Wednesday. Bye.